Wham. Oh, young Skywalker, you will take it from behind. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of Star Wars Episode 8, the what is it? Last Jedi. Last Jedi, yes. I was going to say The Force Awakens. That was Sampa. Yeah. This review will later contain spoilers. I'm not going to do 2 of them. That's silly. But I will probably watch the movie again and do a update review whenever Mark's Card sees it. He hasn't seen it yet, so I'll probably do another one getting his backstory a little bit. I will tell you when the spoilers happen. Suffice it to say, let's say the trailers were for, let's see. They showed the Avengers Infinity War trailer. They showed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. They showed the that weird one with the ape and the crocodile and the other. It's like based on a game. I can't remember what is that. It's a video game movie that looks terrible. A couple other ones. Action movies. Let's see. Oh yeah, Wrinkle in Time, which looks interesting. Yeah. So, and a couple of others. I kept leaving to go to the bathroom because wanted to make sure that it was all emptied out from before I sit in a 2.5-hour movie, and you know. Anyway, so yeah, Star Wars. The Force Awakens. I'm not gonna turn this on and waste the batteries, but anyway, so yeah, the not the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi. Yeah, our spoiler-free first part of this. Yeah, so we have it start off with, well, plot-wise, it does not actually start on the planet. It starts during the Rebel fight to escape from the ship of Kylo Ren that's chasing the rebels, and it's coming after them. Poe Dameron acts heroic and does something heroic to escape, and then there's they're trying to escape this planet, and they got this blockade going on with these funky bomber ships, and there's this big space battle, and one of the characters is sacrificed that we have never met. This character shows up. And then to release the bomb payload, and then there's another. Yeah, the Kylo Ren's general is leading it, General Hux, and he's there's a funny scene with Hux and Dameron, and Dameron does the Kal Kat maneuver, which is really cool. Also, it's similar to the Trek Yards maneuver. When the Trek Yards people were going over the Star Destroyers and Dreadnoughts and things like that, they said, if somebody like shot all the lasers off the top of the ship, they couldn't actually defend the ship with the main ship. They would be kind of defenseless on top. And I thought of that too, and they did as well. So it was like, okay, it's kind of a great minds think alike. Well, they actually did that gag in this movie. I was like, that's cool. They did the and they get to the front of the ship and knock the top guns off, because yeah, the bottom guns would be down here, way down there, like the thing's a mile long. So, but they did show a dreadnought. That was cool. They had A-wings that were updated. They had X-wings that are updated. They had a bunch of stuff. Then we cut to literally the scene in which Rey goes to the Jedi planet, meets Luke, and his reaction to her is hilariously ironic, and he's all like, I don't want your help, and although it's not really spoilers so much as that's just what happens, and she has to convince him to to return to the Republic, and fight the rebels, and stop the First Order. Which he, in a sense, the First Order started, and then he ran off for like 25 years or something, and or less than 20 years, because he would the kid would have had to have been Ben Kenobi would have been Ben Solo would have had to have been at least 12 or 13 before he became like a total badass. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. So it was 25 some years, after that, after Jedi at that point. And yes, and yes, sure. So the Rebel Alliance is basically trying to get away from the Snoke. Snoke's ship shows up to follow them. We get to actually see Snoke. Spoiler. A little bitty spoiler. And he's kind of miffed about the whole thing. And director Rain Johnson, seems like they're all male white males doing all of the directing, in these movies. Although there are some women writing the scripts, at least we have, Jedi lady and stuff, Karsten, whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, they pointed that out on the Red Letter Media thing that they did with a Nerd Crew. That was all a spoof. So you can watch that and it won't spoil it. It's a spoof. But yeah, don't go to the Stone Gremlins one because they totally give it away. Unless you've already seen it. But yeah, so Luke is distraught and despondent, Jedi, and wants to do stuff. He wants to be the last of the Jedi, and that's where the title comes from. That's not a spoiler. And there's this weird sort of mental connection between Rey and Kylo that goes through the movie, and that's the scene you see in the trailer where she's reaching out and he's reaching out and stuff. And there's it's like a mind touch thing. They're not really in the same room, as Kevin Smith pointed out in his review of the trailer. Like they can't be in the same room because the room's lit differently. Yeah, it's a mind thing. It's like a mind meld kind of Star Trek kind of thing. Force mixed in with that going on. They try to explain away the Force, but it's not midichlorians. And Rey's origins and stuff. We won't give away spoilers though. Not yet. This review will have a little spoilery section a little later. Okay, so the rebels are trying to get away, and there's gonna be a showdown inevitably between Rey and what's his name again? Kylo. And then Finn is rescued, and he recovers, and he goes on a mission too. And he goes on a mission with the sister of the girl that died that was not mentioned in the other story. And also we have Carrie Fisher, who is Princess Leia, who is the general in it. And she gets wounded at one point. Spoiler. And but things are going to work out. The actress Carrie Fisher actually died right after the movie. So it would be a spoiler to address that at this point, whether they do or not. Anyway, so everybody's in it, and I would say that in terms of the structure, it hits the right points. It's very well done and well crafted. It doesn't hit the same emotional resonance as Episode 7, though. Not quite. The scenes are meant to have emotional punch and resonance, but some of them are a little off. It's probably the music is a little... usually the music is what does it, that brings it in. And although the music is fine, they could have done some more sighing violins and stuff. Could have made it a little more... Maybe it would have been too obvious. But something to give the emotional impact of the show. It's fine. It's a great movie. It's not Oscar worthy, but it's a great movie. And then there's a battle on this planet with this salty substance all over the ground that underneath is red for some reason, and there's those little salt wolves running around, salt dogs. It's the Gamelon planet, basically. No, I didn't say that. Although there's also a gambling casino planet, in which Finn and the girl go to the planet and do some things over there. Meanwhile, Ray and Luke are over here doing something else, and then there's this other stuff, a lot of stuff going on, that if I tell you all of it would be spoilers. Yeah, so go out and see the movie, and yeah, it's awesome. See it in theaters. See it in big in IMAX. I'll have to see it in IMAX next. So just a regular screen. I want to see IMAX. Yeah, see, it's just always slightly different in IMAX. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah, Rian Johnson did a good job. I think Abrams is doing the third one because the other director, Travo or something, backed out. But also there's the Han Solo movie next year that's coming out. First, and the two directors were kicked off that one, and they got Ron Howard to finish it. That's a different one, though. That's Han Solo. That's set like 40 years earlier than this movie. This movie is set 30 years after Jedi, and it does kind of begin right after the last one left off. Clearly, some time has passed. Well, immediately after the training stuff. It's not really Return of the Jedi being retold. Good thing. It's like a reluctant Return of the Jedi. And yeah, so anyway, spoilery section coming up. Let's see, how far into this is this? Okay, 11 minutes in. 11:41 minutes into this. I'm going to say this is a spoiler section. Okay, I'm going to spoil some of the movie. I am going to spoil it. Yes. I'm going to spoil some of the movie. Okay, well, yeah, spoilery section. Yeah. So we had the other Kal Kat scene was involving them warping a ship, through the mothership. That was another Kal Kat thing. Totally did that in Starcrackers. Yeah, we did that. They sort of did that in the first one with the cargo ship, so they just kind of did it again and showed what would happen to a ship if you did that. But yeah, it would go. You know, Snoke's ship is a big V-wing sort of like super bomber thing. It's like a big thing. Yeah, what's funny about this movie right away, and I'm gonna like spoil shit. And what's going on? I'll have to see it again because this is my first viewing thing, early in the morning. I have to tell you about the audience story before I go into the spoiler. There was a guy, like an Asian guy, in the front, and there were two of us in the theater at one point because it was like an hour early, and he starts doing like Tai Chi kata forms and stuff because he'd be Jedi, I guess, but he wants to be like a Jedi but Zen. And he starts doing the whole, he's just doing base forms, just whatever, do some energy forms. And I'm sitting like right in front of him practically. I got 2 rows up in the front, and I'm right in the front. He's like 2 rows up. The movie hasn't started. There's like random stuff on the screen playing that isn't relevant, and no one's really watching. There was like one other guy'd come in, and another guy had come in, and it was like 15 minutes before the movie starts, and the guy's doing his forms. And I said, Energy Form 2, you know that one? And he's like, oh yeah. A 3, what that? Entertain me. Yeah, that was pretty funny. They did 3. They stopped. So how do you know what that is? And it was all Taekwondo. I know what that is. Yeah, I did Tai Chi. Yeah, it's all. It's kind of like the Jedi. Later on at the school camp thing, I was moving a ball with my Jedi mind powers. Yes, Jedi mind powers, and the ball moved because I have Jedi powers. I'm a gray Jedi, anyway, as you can see from me. Balance you have. Yes. Imbalanced you may be. Yes. sort of like Yoda Palpatine crossover. That's weird. Oh, go to the island and books you have. Well, there is one funny scene in that in which Luke goes onto the Falcon, which is on the planet, the Jedi planet. And he finds R2 in there, and R2 is basically snarking at him, telling him to go on the mission and save the rebels. Oh, you can't convince me to do that. I won't do it. R2's all, he plays like, you're my only hope, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. And he says, that's low, dude. Oh. Or something like that, yeah. It's like, oh, it's messed up. It's like, I'm not a legend. Technically, it's only 30 years ago. It probably isn't a legend. Anyway, 40 years ago for the movie. But yes, the legend of Star Wars. So he plays basically the old Zen master that has lost his way on this planet, basically. Yeah, it's very, very much a Zen like kind of thing. Very much a martial art thing. It's and that part's cool. I liked that it didn't have as much of the. You got the saber fight. There is a saber fight. There's fights in it and stuff. There's a ship fight and all that. It's got all the. It hits all the right notes, and it isn't a rip off of Jedi. I did like that. I did like how they handled the parents thing. And how they handled the mind touch thing was kind of cool. Not as much emotional impact because really he's not there. She's just imagining it. Also the final boss scene where Kylo Ren and Luke actually face off. You could kind of tell it was coming. What happened? The spoilers part. So yeah. So you can kind of tell what's going on there. I'll spoil it a little bit, but I won't spoil it a lot. I won't explain it. Yeah, so there's a fight with the two of them, and yeah, he directs all firepower on the guy, and it's like, okay, I could tell what was going to happen there. Partly because they kind of screwed up just before they showed the scene. It was kind of a blooper, and they had his facial features looking a little younger. I thought, maybe it's the lighting was a little different or something, but his beard was like lighter or darker and not as gray, and I was like, that's odd. Maybe it's just the lighting, maybe it's not an error. I'll have to see it again to see whether that's a thing or whether I just missed it. I might have missed it, but yeah, it was a kind of a cool idea. Yes, and spoiler, the fans are wrong about Rey's origins. They're completely wrong, and I'm thinking that they originally had planned to make the origins of her be like a long lost daughter of Luke and have her do that. They planned to do that, but the fans guessed, so they changed it in post-production. They said like, oh, no, actually they were these two unknown smuggler guys, and that's not important, but she still has the Force. That's basically where they go with that. So they basically just shoved it. It's like saying, we're going to shove it off to the next movie and not tell you. So it's not Luke, they're your father kind of thing like Jedi. It's like a Empire. It's more like, oh, we're just gonna save that for the next movie. Which is okay, fine. You gotta have some reason to go to the next movie because the way they ended this, I kind of have not much left. But yeah, Carrie Fisher's character, spoiler, does not actually die at the end of this movie. So I don't know how they're gonna. They finished the movie. So it's completely done with all of her scenes. So the whole scene with like the shuttle and all that stuff, that was just the part where she gets injured, and then this other admiral lady takes over, and she's kind of bitchy. But yeah, Captain Phasma has more than 2 lines. At one point, she faces off with Finn. Yes, the Nerd Crew guessed that. That actually does happen, which is funny. Yeah, so. So yeah, I reckon they're going to have to explain away or CG or something. What they probably should do with Leia in Part 9 is they probably should just say that she just passed away or something in her sleep, and just not say it was heroic or anything, because she's old, and then just go on from there, because yeah, making a CG version of her, not gonna work. No, I can do that. Yeah, so. the Salt Planet thing, that was an odd scene. They're fighting the super AT-ATs with the big guns mounted on their legs so they can't really move. Just kind of strange, like dragging their back feet, basically. And then we have these ships that drop the little anchors down and they spray the salt up as sort of like camouflage. But that would slow them down massively and make their like approach kind of stupid. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. The camouflage with red dust. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to look like the Arabian dust storm, like battle of World War II Battle of Africa, possibly, or something. Egypt or whatever. It was just kind of a cool idea, but it's just strangely an odd trick. I liked that some of the scenes when they were fighting in laser blasts and stuff, that you couldn't hear them in space. That was kind of fun. So yeah, some parts like when at one point Leia goes into space and uses her Jedi powers because she actually has them. Yes, spoiler, she has some powers. She uses them in the movie to save herself from getting blasted out of the shuttle. She goes, and then she's messed up and they got to put her in sickbay. But yeah, she used her. She had some powers, which was cool. And Finn was more like Han Solo. And then there's this weird traitor guy, figuring he has some reason to be in it other than being a traitor and a traitor, or an arms trader guy. And he shows up and he's got a stutter, and he's like a smuggler kind of thing. He's not Rey's father. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think he's just a smuggler guy. But he's in there for a reason. If he's a stepfather, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they did not go with the Rey's father thing. They did not go with the idea that she is, even related to Kylo Ren or Luke or Ben or Leia, because they didn't address it in the last movie. Why would they address it here? She would know. It's just my niece or my aunt or whatever. And Luke is I'm thinking, though, that there is a connection with the Last Jedi Temple battle, and that her parents were there. And that's the connection, is that she was one of the Jedi students, or the parents were, and they were also there. That's probably the real story, which is much more messed up and tragic. So yeah, that's probably what's going on. So yeah, she's not related to Kylo. Yeah. If anything, they're sort of like distant cousins. But yeah, maybe she's related to Lando or something. Lando's not in it. Yeah, so... Oh yes, and the Porg, the little dude, looks like a cross between Grumpy Cat and a Furby. And it's more like Grumpy Cat and a Furby. And a little bit of maybe an owl or something. Hedwig from Harry Potter. He's not nearly as annoying as he appears to be. And in the movie, he's there on occasion. I mean, he's there, and Chewbacca has a scene with him. But yeah, he doesn't save the ship or anything. More like BB-8 saving the ship, doing contortions and things. BB-8 does that. There's a few strange scenes in there with the little robot. It's like a utility knife robot. It's a ball. BB-8. There's an evil BB-8 at one point as well. There's like a dark version. It's just weird. But yeah. Yeah, the Last Jedi. Luke is the Last Jedi. However, of course, the training passed the baton to the girl who becomes Rey, who becomes Last Jedi. So it's plural and singular at the same time, like the director hinted at. And apparently Mark Hamill is annoyed that his character was so grumpy in the movie. Yeah. But he was sort of playing him kind of sardonic anyway. So yeah, so Last Jedi, go and see it. I didn't really give away too much. I won't give away what happens to Snoke because you have to see. Just you have to see it. I'm not going to give that away. Yeah. I'm not going to give away who Snoke is either, because that would be messed up. It would get lots of hate. But yes, it wasn't me. I was not Snoke. I was in the. Let's see. Oh, the one with the. What was it? the salt planet battle thing. Yeah. No, no, I wasn't in it. Those weird. There's some weird like horse bunny things, big giant horse bunnies that are being abused on the casino planet for racing. Horse bunnies. It's an interesting twist. And then Finn gets away on it. How people just recover in this universe, like they're recovered. It's weird. Anyway, so, but yeah, we're presuming that during the training that some time also passed, and that it wasn't really, yeah, there was weeks or something in there, because yeah, the other chase wasn't the same. So anyway, so there's your. I might have more when I see it again, or when Mark's Card sees it as well, to tell about the Jedi movie. But yes, the Last Jedi, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, 4 stars, 4.5 almost. It's in a sense not as good as Empire, but it's in a sense almost as good as Empire. So a little better than Jedi and New Hope. Not quite. There's a few things, but it's yeah, it's fine. It's good. Go see it. Yeah. Dun 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 dun.